I think we'll just jump right in, okay? This is our fourth class as we discuss and practice Master Tiloka's Ganji's Mahamudra. Saying a few words about it in between verses and prior to, and practicing as much as we can. So as we begin, let's set our intention to actualize our highest potential, to attain full awakening. And then we would be of the greatest benefit to each and every living being, without exception and without delay of even a second, right? Like now. So allow that longing to fill your heart, this wish, this great wish. Just how wonderful it would be if through the power of our wisdom eye always being opened, we would be spontaneously, effortlessly, open-heartedly turning toward benefiting others. How wonderful that would be. Sometimes I think, like a mother for the newborn child, having a primary mind of helping, of bodhicitta. When that child cries in the middle of the night, mother wakes up, immediately the thought is to help. The second thought might be, oh, I wish I could sleep. But the primary mind is to help. You see, our primary mind, the nature of our naked mind, is a compassionate one. There is no room for hate or anger or spite. These are learned, they're cultivated, and they manifest through our failure to understand mind's true nature. When we see through negative thoughts, feelings, emotions, perceptions, when we see their harmful effects, and when we see their quality is essenceless, they begin to lose their power. They begin to lose their power to propel us to act in harmful ways, to speak in harmful ways, to speak in ways that hurt. They begin to lose their power to propel us to act in hurtful ways on their behalf. Eventually, if we fail to entertain them, they stop coming to the party. If we don't feed them, they don't stay. They lose the energy to survive, and they lose their energy to even arise. These negative, mistaken perceptions actually stop arising. There's a story about Shakyamuni Buddha. In his time, an angry man came face to face with Buddha, shouting at him and calling him a charlatan. And Buddha calmly listened. And the man became more angry and asked why the Buddha had nothing to say. And the Buddha replied with a question. He asked, if you had come to offer me a gift and I didn't accept that gift, who would own that gift? And when the man realized that his anger was not accepted, that it belonged only to him, and that it was painful, it was a painful gift to behold, he became Buddha's disciple. The more we open our wisdom eye with the key to understanding emptiness, that there is no inherent one who hates, there is no inherent hating, there is no inherent object of hate, the closer we come to understanding the true nature of reality. There is a verse in the Vajrayogini Tantra. There has never ever been even one atom of true existence. since that which is called the reality of phenomena is completely free of inherent existence or non-existence, permanence or annihilation, samsara or nirvana. It's like the center of space. And since it has never been tainted by the stains of apprehended or apprehender, it's stainless. Such a thing is emptiness. And please recognize how precious and how very rare it is to even hear such words, let alone take an interest and follow the path to freedom. Please rejoice in your good fortune to know that this life is as fragile as a bubble in a sea froth of a wave. And don't let this precious opportunity slip through your fingers, because karma is definite. And as long as we're under the control of karma and delusion, our address will always be samsara. I like that analogy. It was in Geshe Lodin's book on the path to enlightenment. He wrote, it doesn't matter whether you live in a peaceful forest setting or in a high-rise apartment in a big city. As long as you're under the control of karma and delusion, your address is samsara. I thought, yeah, I like that. So now please settle into your meditation seat. Relaxed, vigilant, and still. And please become aware of the feelings within your body and your state of mind. And settle the mind with awareness of the natural rhythm of the breath for 10 cycles. Breathing out and back in as one. Without any force or impedance. Rest naturally, attending to the sensation of the breath as the body breathes. Presently aware. You bring your mind to Root Lama, someone who manifests for you all the awakened qualities that you wish to have. Someone for whom you have great admiration for their qualities of love, compassion, wisdom, and skillful means, and have a longing to have those qualities. Gazing into their face, feel their loving presence and see their smiling eyes. Let your heart be glad that they're in your life. And think, oh, how fortunate I am to have met you, my great inspiration. This warm-heartedness that comes from that gratitude, remembering the 3 levels of refuge. Let us seek refuge and ask for blessings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my virtuous actions of giving and so on, may I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my virtuous actions of giving and so on, may I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my virtuous actions of giving and so on, may I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. How wonderful it would be if all beings had happiness and all its causes, if we were free of suffering and all its causes, if we were never separated from higher rebirths and liberation, and if we would abide in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and hatred. How wonderful this would be. I will help us to have these. Please, Guru Buddha, bless me to be able to do so. Please bless me to awaken and realize every level on the path to enlightenment. I beseech you, may I be inspired by Guru devotion, uplifted by the preciousness of this human life, shed the fetters of attachment and aversion through a knowledge of impermanence, be protected by refuge, guided by a knowledge of actions and their results, aim for liberation through renunciation. May I be motivated by bodhicitta, opened by giving, disciplined by ethical behavior, strengthened by patience, enthused by joyous effort, stabilized by concentration, and freed by wisdom. Please, may I become fully awakened for the welfare of all beings. Then, as the embodiment of all enlightened qualities, your Lama accepts your request. They melt into a small sphere of light and come to your crown. This light, a manifestation of love, compassion, joy, and wisdom, descends from your crown down through the center of your body and comes to rest at your heart center. Allow the warmth of a loving heart to fill your body, to know you are loved and that it is your nature to love. Feel a responsibility to offer this loving kindness to each and every living being and to remove the suffering of the world. Penetrating that light with your mind, allow it to expand. As it expands, it dissolves your body. it dissolves the room, the building, growing and expanding. It fills all of space. Everything has dissolved into clear light emptiness. Rest there in this vast, empty, luminous awareness, where there is no one resting, no act of resting, nothing to be put into a place of resting. Stay. And from within this state of awareness, a compassionate thought to benefit arises in the mind. And we once again manifest the Bodhisattva body. But last week, there was a good question. What is awareness? It's a good question. And I responded by saying awareness is knowing. Knowing. Well, I often refer to resting in awareness as simply awaring, even though I know it's not a word. You can look it up and you won't find it in the dictionary. But thinking more about this question, I remembered my own quandary. Who or what is aware? Where is this awareness? Doesn't it seem like there's a person who knows, a person who is aware? Otherwise, where's the knowing? Who knows? So these are really excellent questions to ponder, because pondering them points us toward discovering the answers. So now, let's just sit for a bit in stillness, in awaring, studying the mind, using the mind, studying awareness, using awareness. First, always turning to the breath. Even just 3 breaths and a state of relaxation can bring us to this present moment. Actually, even just 1 breath, relaxing down to the ground. And then releasing the breath and simply awaring, no judging, simply aware. There is a strong pull to return to self-reference, to the mistaken belief that this is the real me. I'm sitting. This is me. Our attention has been caught in self-reference for so long, it feels like home. Take a moment to look. In what state of tension is your body? What is your degree of ease? Is there something you've read or heard that spun you off into a contraction of this mistaken sense of who you are? What thoughts or mental images leave you in less than ease? Can you feel the off-balance quality of confusion? Can you feel a tightness or a contraction? What does it actually feel like in a walled-in sense of egoic self? This I illusion. Recognize the energy involved in maintaining a separate you. My mind, my body, my awareness, my thoughts, my feelings, my perceptions. And note whatever feelings arise. Along with the believed separation. And bring compassion to them. Paying attention is the platform for leaving suffering. Note without judgment. How our ego attempts to deflect, what kind of convolutions we endure to deflect what's arising. Simply just witness the situation. The pause allows us to simply see. Rest in clear seeing, in the present, and the capacity to see. And notice that in merely seeing, knowing, awareing, there is no I illusion. Be the awareness. This awareness, this mind, is not just empty, it also has a vivid clarity, an infinite and vast luminosity, the radiance of emptiness itself. It's like a wide, clear sky filled with light. This experience of space with light is the experience of great compassion and loving kindness, of unbiased, great love beyond concepts. It manifests in the vibrant energy of our thoughts, our emotions, our perceptions. We can see it in every experience of mind. Contemplate the clarity aspect of mind. Looking at whatever forms or thoughts or emotions arise, see them as the natural expression of this luminous nature. Looking beyond the object, through the veil, experiencing the radiance of emptiness, resting, relaxed, within that basic presence of clarity. The clarity aspect of mind has the power of awareing, of knowing, of seeing and experiencing the world. When a room is full of light, you can see all the objects surrounding us. In that same way, the light of our mind makes appearances clear and distinct. When we think about an object, our mind naturally produces an image for it. We hear a sound, an image appears. It's natural. The image we see is an expression of mind's clear, playful, creative energy. And no, mind isn't only empty and clear, it has the quality of panoramic and discriminating awareness. Awareness is the wakeful, that quality of sharp, penetrating intelligence that sees through confusion and perfectly understands the world it sees. With clarity and awareness coming together, we experience the full power and benefit of compassion and wisdom in our life. So rest the mind for a few moments. Let go of any thoughts, any hopes or fears, and allow the mind to remain calm. Rest the gaze in the open space in front. Bring the mind into the present moment and relax. Simply experiencing the quality of awareness. Then Let go of even that. Relax without any thought. Relaxed, at ease, in momentary present awareness. Experience the mind as empty and luminous. With awareness, we simply experience the three aspects of mind in union, the wholeness of mind's nature, emptiness, clarity, and awareness. Relaxing in this space. Witness each experience as a momentary expression of the infinite possibilities of emptiness. Relax. relaxing in this space. One of the meditations leading to direct experience of Buddha mind. And with this experience, we can bring a new level of understanding and skill into our everyday life. The wisdom and compassion we manifest has the power to transform the once disturbing energies of our thoughts and emotions into something useful and powerful that can bring about the experience of enlightenment. So I realize, actually, good, we've completed the first 15 verses of Master Tilopa's Ganges Mahamudra. And I realize that sometimes when I'm meditating, my voice drops, and I apologize for that. I'll try to be aware of that and speak at a higher level. So we're going to continue with Tilopa's Ganges Mahamudra. And I'll repeat those first 15 verses. So please listen and try to recall the meaning. And first, allow yourself a little time travel to ancient India and sit by the banks of the Ganges, listening to Master Tilopa, speaking to his heart son, Naropa. And he begins. I bow down to that glorious, spontaneously arising state. Mahamudra can't be described. Unless, my Naropa, it is taught to one possessing enough intelligence to endure the hardships of the spiritual path and devotion to his Lama. One like you, with a heart pure enough to hear the purest things. Kyeho, cast your gaze well upon worldly things which cannot ever stay. They're just a dream, an illusion. Illusions and dreams which in actual fact can't ever truly exist. So learn to find them sorrowful and give up these games of the world. Let go of your fondness for your retinue. Turn away from all your loved ones. Walk alone into the forest to an isolated hermitage and practice meditation. Reside within the state of non-meditation. Reach that thing which cannot be reached, and you will reach Mahamudra. Things of this cycle are meaningless, just feeding your ignorant likes and dislikes. The things you do lack any essence, so focus upon the ultimate essence. You won't see the object beyond all thought with the things you're thinking. You won't find the object beyond all deeds with the things you're doing. If you really long to reach this object beyond all thought, beyond all deeds, take a trip inside your mind and rest there within the naked mind. Penetrate the putrid swamp of your conceptions. Don't feed or strangle what appears. Just take it as it comes. And when there is no more to grasp or let go, you're released into Mahamudra. Picture now a fertile tree with widespread leaves and branches. Cut the root. All its billion leaves and branches wither. Picture now a darkness which has gathered for 1 billion years. And yet a single lamp can dispel all the darkness gathered there. So it is with your own mind. A single instant of the clear light can dispel 1 billion years of bad deeds and obstructions. And if one of weaker mind cannot rest upon this object, have them place the mind upon a crucial point of inner wind. Use a myriad of different viewpoints and myriad visualizations until you can coerce the mind into staying in that state. Imagine you're studying the entire sphere of the sky. You'll come to stop delineating the middle from the ends. It is the same. Studying the mind, using the mind. Images and feelings stop, and you come to rest beyond all thought, seeing the mind's true nature, unsurpassed enlightenment. Picture now a layer of fog that dissipates into thin air without going anywhere, without staying anywhere. It's the same with all the layers of conceptions rising from your mind. The waves of thought just dissipate by seeing your own mind. Take the sky, for instance, devoid of any shape or color. Its nature is immutable, unblemished by clouds of black or white. So it is with your own mind. Devoid of shape or color, it can't ever be blemished by good or bad, black or white. Think how the nexus of the sun burns so clear and bright. It cannot be covered by 1 billion years of darkness. And just so, at the nexus of your mind is the clear light, which cannot be obscured by 1 billion years of blind mistakes. Say you wish to analyze the empty nature of the sky, but you find there are no words to express this quality of sky. Just so, we can talk about the clear light of our own mind, but there's nothing there for us to say. This is what I'm speaking of. Ask yourself, what could ever rest on any fraction of the sky? Nor could any object rest upon your Mahamudra mind. Release yourself into this pristine fundamental state. Your bonds will all be broken, and without a doubt, you will be free. This is your mind's true nature. It is like the sky, and it is every single thing. There's nothing not a part of it. Give up this lie of the physical realm. Rest in your unborn nature. Hearing the few words you speak as simply its own echo. So these we have covered. And now we'll continue with verse 16. Master Tilopa says, clear all thinking from your mind and look upon the world. It's a moon inside a lake. Look upon this body. It's a hollow reed without a core. The mind is the sphere of the sky, beyond objects of thought. Leave it alone in its natural state. Don't make it stay or go. So we must, in order to experience the uninterrupted meditative experience, we must abandon conceptual grasping. We must abandon reifying grasping. We transcend the intellect. Lama Yeshe used to say, enjoy as much as possible, dear, without grasping. It is the latching on to thoughts or concepts that kidnap us and take us away from our clear light meditation. And verse 17, when there's no turning in the mind, this is Mahamudra. And after you have mastered this, you reach matchless enlightenment. With no object to focus on, the nature of your mind is clear. When there is no path to travel, you've reached the Buddha's path. So if mind is without a fixed reference point, that's Mahamudra. Then we go beyond a mere glimpse. We recognize Mahamudra without a reference point, and we familiarize with that until unexcelled enlightenment is attained. How do we do that? Repeatedly and continually attending to the meaning, on and off the cushion. Kyabje Zopa Rinpoche stayed at my house in 1998 for some weeks, engaging in a retreat prior to offering Hayagriva empowerment and commentary at Vajrapani Institute, which is just a mile down the road. And during lunch one day with Rinpoche, Rinpoche gave me the advice to maintain the understanding that all appearances are merely labeled by mind. He suggested that in all activities, I should remember that. He said, driving in the car, merely labeled by mind, driving down the road, merely labeled by mind, past the trees, merely labeled by mind. During all activities, between sessions, talking to people, eating, etc., not to ever forget the meaning that we understand during meditative equipoise, merely labeled by the mind. I find it really helpful when some thought arises that's not helpful, something I want, and I just think, oh, a thought merely labeled by mind. Because thoughts we know, we find, we see are essenceless. And when we're in meditation, we see that. But when we're not in meditation and we're wandering about in our day, it's very easy to get trapped by those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions, and believe they are me, they are mine. And therefore I must do something about them. So verse 18, practice what cannot be practiced to reach matchless enlightenment. The king of all world views lies beyond subject or object. The king of meditation lies beyond all movement of the mind. The king of all activity lies beyond the need to do. Again, here we recall the empty nature of all things. And verse 19, with nothing more to hope or fear, the final goal comes into being. The unborn foundation of all things, free of the blinding seeds of darkness. Stay here in your unborn essence. Don't let the meditation end. Let appearances appear as nothing but the play of mind. And here, Master Tilopa points to understanding the unborn and unceasing awareness, which leads to the realization of the perfection of wisdom, our primordial state. Milarepa gave 4 pointing out instructions. He says, appearances are mind. Mind is empty. Emptiness is spontaneous. Spontaneity is naturally liberated. Appearances are mind. Mind is empty. Emptiness is spontaneous. And spontaneity is naturally liberated. As Master Shantideva said, the mind that sees the emptiness of mind is nirvana. Equipoise in that state, free from hope and fear and all dualistic clinging, is what is called our own Mahamudra, without support. There's no object to focus on. Thoughts are not rejected or affirmed. They're given no effort, no energy. And even if they arise, we allow them to arise. They're left with equanimity in their own nature, their own entity, spontaneously and naturally liberated. If we gently relax and poise ourselves naturally in this unfabricated state, that's what's called our own mind free of support, our own Mahamudra mind free of support, sometimes called non-meditation. I think it was the 4th verse where when Tilopa says, abide in a state of non-meditation. Reach that thing which cannot be reached, and you will reach Mahamudra. Tilopa advised that if we gently release entangling thoughts, we'll be free. We naturally soften or relax them. We lightly set them to rest. And leaving it at that, relaxing. Once attachment is gone, there's no way we will not see clear light. And verse 20, the king of all world views breaks free of every border. The highest king of meditation is depth and space without an end. The highest king of action is to stay here doing nothing. The highest king of the final goal stays here beyond its hope. You might recall in the Complete Path by the 7th Dalai Lama, there's that verse. And in the vast space of the perception of emptiness, mental grasping for the ultimate subsides. then one looks into the face of the world and everything is seen without essence. And in this way, we have these Lamrim prayers. We have Lama Tsongkhapa's 3 principal aspects of the path. We have the 7th Dalai Lama's complete path. We have the foundation of all good qualities. You see, these prayers that give the entire path, this is our foundation. And we can recall these as support, as motivating factors for doing these practices. So it's important to have them at hand, to use them. I like this, I think it was Venerable Renee who gave me this complete path to enlightenment, or the complete path by the 7th Dalai Lama. It's translated by Glenn Mullen, I think. And I think Venerable Renee passed that out it was at a retreat, and it might have been 10 years ago. And then I came across it a year ago. You know, go through your notes. Every now and then something pops out. And I came across this again. And I find it's very helpful to memorize. It's very helpful to memorize. What is this? This is this 1 page, 2 columns, this complete path. And it takes me a long time because my mind is old now. I used to be able to memorize a lot more quickly. But now, you know, it might take 6 months to memorize this. But it's very useful because then as you drive down the road, merely labeled by the mind, in your car, merely labeled by your mind, you can recite this prayer, merely labeled by your mind, without having any text. So it's useful to know these things. Useful, very useful. I highly recommend it. Take the time. We're going to practice with Geshe Ten's advices. Do you need to stretch? Do you need a personal break for 3 minutes? Okay. I'm going to just stretch for a minute. I have to say, sometimes, you know, I think, oh, should be doing something different, you know, something new, something more exciting. But really, it's so useful to practice again and again and again and again, because each time we go through the same practice again and again and again and again, it goes deeper into the psyche, and insights come. So rather than allowing myself to be bored, I try to take the meaning of the meditation and rest within it. For 20 minutes. Okay. So as our foundation of our meditation is a good posture, take a good seat. And sit fully. Taking a few intentional breaths. Straighten your spine. Place your hands in the position of meditative equipoise. Raise your shoulders just slightly and let them drop. Let them relax. Let there be a slight curve in your neck. Okay, so now settling in, meditative posture. Let there be a slight curve in your neck. Your spine is straight. Your tongue rests naturally on the upper palate, relaxed. Your jaw relaxed. Your eyes are not closed, but looking straight out in front. Settle the movement of the breath naturally. Inhaling and exhaling is natural and easy. With that, let all the parts, all the limbs, fully, completely relaxed. With the body relaxed in that way, remain upright, allowing the mind to settle evenly within. Rest evenly in momentary present awareness, not chasing after the past, not anticipating the future, and not analyzing the present. Rest evenly in momentary present awareness. Rest evenly without one who does the resting. Rest evenly without something to be put into a place of resting. Beyond blocking or encouraging, leaving behind all effort, all exertion, settle evenly. Rest evenly like space without a center or periphery, beyond hope and fear. Whatever thought or mental affliction arises, whatever feeling or experience arises, rest without blocking or encouraging, so they dissolve on their own. They are self-liberated, freed. Rest in a non-conceptual state beyond all mental engagement. Rest in momentary present awareness without mentally engaging in anything at all. Take a moment to recognize the state of your body and mind. As we end, coming peacefully to the present as an agent of kindness, open-hearted and aware. And if you have any questions of what we've covered, happy to address. We have a few minutes.
Hi, Elaine.
Hi.
Hi. I just have a comment or maybe an observation, really, which happens a lot to me. And just really realizing well, maybe I'm not, but maybe having a better understanding on what we're actually meditating on here. So it's like, so I used to make the mistake, if it is, still might be wrong. So we're meditating on emptiness, or that's the achievement, but it's the wisdom that realizes emptiness, isn't it? That we're meditating on in that instance. And here it's the naked awareness, isn't it? Which emptiness then comes from, and every possibility or phenomena comes from that, doesn't it? Is that right?
Isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, yes, it is like that. Everything has the quality of emptiness. Nothing has any inherent existence, right? I mean, emptiness is not a thing. It's a lack of something. There is no thing that has any solid, concrete, inherent awareness. So to see that the mind has no concrete awareness, the mind is empty of existing in any way, of existing like this or like this. What's arising in the mind is empty of any quality that's inherently existent. So awareness, appearances arise. And sometimes, they feel so concrete, so very, very real that, we're whisked away. We get grabbed into that. So as we're meditating, we think that there is a real solid person here meditating. I'm here. I'm meditating. I'm the one who's on this cushion, and it's my cushion. And it's my room. But when we sit in awareness, simply this Mahamudra meditation of clear light, emptiness, awareness, clarity, luminous awareness, for a period of time. We're doing it for a short period of time. We're doing it in snippets. But if over time, if you have the opportunity to do 20 minutes every day, you just talk yourself into the space of relaxation, starting with the breath, bringing it now to now. In time, you have the ability to drop right now. With practice, you have the ability to do it standing in line at the grocery store. So it's a practice that we become more and more familiar with and more adept at being able to remain in that state. And then we aren't hooked. We don't get hooked when somebody butts in front of us in line. We just back up. Allow them, Everything that arises in the mind comes from mind. So why do we have emotions that spin us out? Why do they come? They come because they've been entertained. They come because it's my emotion, came from my experience, and we grasp it and we make it solid and concrete. But when we sit and we begin to see this amazing nature of mind, we realize, oh, that comes, but we don't have to grasp it. And actually, it will go. So that gives us courage throughout our day. Our practice is to inform our day. It's to inform our life. And we can use our life to inform our practice. So it's a good relationship. Yeah. Very good. All right. Thank you all for coming and giving me an opportunity to practice with you. It's very helpful for me. Okay. So let's dedicate, right? Let's take all this positive energy that we have created and put it in the bank, our enlightenment account. All right. So may we quicker than quick become Buddhas so that we truly can be of the benefit to all beings. Let's dedicate to the long lives of all the spiritual masters, teaching paths to freedom, and that we might never be separated from them, that we might never lose the interest, that we might get hooked by something juicy in our life and forget all about our practice. Let's dedicate to that, to being sincere in our wish and in our practice. Okay? Really, thank you very much. And also, if we could just have peace, if we could just have peace, inner and outer peace. We have to develop the inner peace, spread it to the outer peace, like throwing a stone in a pond, let it ripple out. Okay. I see Cynthia asked if there's a way to have recordings to this. So I think maybe Anna, you have a way.
Yes, I've messaged Cynthia.
Okay, cool. All right then. Good. Okay, you all have a really great week. I'm going to be, our last class will be next Sunday, and I'll be on vacation. So I'll be coming to you from Inverness, California next week. Yeah,
Excellent.
okay. I'll bring you there.